Better?
I think so.
I should be hot and sweaty throughout this podcast.
Oh, it's so nice and cool here now. Like,
Yeah,
I've got...
it's nice today. It's not too warm off.
No, it's real nice.
Come on, sneeze.
I think it might be your laptop, Michael.
Oh, it shouldn't be my laptop.
So it's like a computer fan I can hear.
Has it gone?
That was terrible.
Has it gone now? The microphone is in my mouth. Has it gone now?
Holy shit, the fuck is this?
Is it gone?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Do the whole podcast like that.
Right. Is this okay?
Can barely hear you.
What, you can barely hear me now?
Yeah, you're super, super quiet.
What now?
Really quiet.
Oh, man, what have I done? Have I broke it? What about now?
It sounds like you're on the opposite end of the room to your laptop.
Oh, shit. Busted up my good... Well, it's not even a good one. How about now?
Still not that. Yeah, you're quiet.
Fuck me. Why did I put it in my mouth?
It's fucked up his fucking microphone.
It's almost like that's a mistake and should not be done.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
How about now?
Still quiet.
Oh, fuck off.
Sounds like you're tossing off a fucking balloon.
Oh, is the video on, is it?
Yeah, I started. This is all going live, mate.
No, I mean, is my camera on? How did you know I was tossing off a balloon?
Oh.
This is as good as it's going to get, I'm afraid.
There we
That's
go.
absolutely fine.
What about now?
Just do what you did before because you're back to normal.
Oh, I was holding it up to my... like this?
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's fine.
Oh, fuck, I'm going to have to hold it up all day.
How long
Alright.
is this podcast going to be?
I just want, like, 30 minutes.
He's not got the upper body strength for it.
I'm just watching Jericho do his... And now? What about now? Funny, Jericho. Alright, are we ready to go?
Yes.
Yeah.
At some point, I will sneeze.
Okay then.
Better have your mouse over the mute button.
You have been warned. What are we, episode 42? Yeah, we are, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 42 of the Out of Nowhere podcast. And today we will be doing our pay-per-view recap show for WWE's Battleground. Joining me today is, seemingly as always, is Chelsea Edgerton.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. And joining us is long time thought to be dead colleague of ours, Oliver. How you doing, Al?
Oh, I'm not too bad. Not too
Still not
bad.
dead.
Like the Big Show, I just keep coming back. You may not want me, but I'm still here.
Comes. Well, I wasn't going to say anything. Comes in, pretends to cry, does a heel turn, leaves.
And then you won't receive for another 10 episodes, but I'll be back. I'll be lurking. The threat will always be there.
And then
It's
for
alright.
some unknown reason gets drafted.
He'll do a podcast about his life story, and then everybody will love him. So, he's getting
Matt,
newfound respect.
I liked his podcast with Stone Cold, but
I haven't watched it yet. I still haven't watched it.
is this a new record? We've literally just been on for 2 minutes and we're already off track. I don't think we've ever got off track in the intro before.
No, I don't think we have.
It's the
Definitely a
Big
new
Show for
record.
the-
Well
I
done,
do the
guys.
Big Show does for people.
Well done. Right, let's get straight into the show. And I'm gonna put it out there to begin with. I had zero expectations for this show whatsoever, and I can't say that it even lived to that. It was a fantastic show. So let's go straight to the pre-show where we had the Usos versus Tyler Breeze and Fandango. Now, I need to ask one of you two this. If any of you have an answer for it, please let me know. Why did we have this match? What is the Beans story about it?
2 tag teams got drafted to SmackDown. Let's give them something.
Was that about it? Yeah.
Pretty much.
Because I didn't even know this was a thing.
Tyler Breeze and Fandango have been doing their thing for a while, and the Usos are with Roman Reigns, so the WWE forgets about them. But they're both on SmackDown, so I think that was the story. 2 tag teams looking to make a name for themselves on SmackDown. Oh, but the main thing we should take away from this is that for Breeze got a fucking victory. Tyler Breeze won a match. Like, actually won a match.
No, it was a roll-up. Hey, a win's a win, right?
Yeah, Tyler Breeze needs a fucking victory, and if he gets it through tag team, then go for it.
What's your opinion on Breezango, Chelsea? Do you like Breezango? Because
not coming around to them. I do like them. I do.
Because let's be honest, if they've just beat the Usos, they're probably the premier tag team in SmackDown.
Hey, what about American Alpha?
Yeah.
All right. Apart from them, yeah, they do all right then.
They do all right, them American Alpha boys.
Yeah, they're doing all right. Yeah, I totally thought they were on Raw, so you can just forget that question.
And you have the Hype Bros on SmackDown. Thank you very much.
No, there you go.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
Later.
This is another tangent, but you've just made me think. You've just totally made me think about it. You know my girl Paige?
Yes.
Who's Paige?
Yeah, my girl Paige. She's deleted since the draft, and they've been put on separate shows. She's deleted off of all social media any reference to Alberto Del Rio.
Well, you would too if you had the choice.
Does this mean it's over?
I don't know. I saw a really good tweet from like Moms Against Wrestling before, and it was like Paige should just be called the burrito now because she's just being stuffed by Mexican meat and sauce or something like that.
Rob, what are you doing? Right, can I kick Chelsea from this in any way? I need to get rid of her.
I know you're saying now this is the quickest thing we've gone on to a tangent in a show. I think this is the quickest amount of time in a show where we've earned an adult rating.
I just saw it. I laughed.
Nice.
I laughed.
Right, let's move on quickly, but we'll stick with the women.
Actually, before we do, just because Chelsea took us down this road.
What does everybody want?
Fuck, marry, kill. Or stun, rather. Fuck, marry, stun.
Go on then.
Yeah.
Del Rio, Sin Cara, Kalisto.
Well, the other two are behind masks.
You're going to have to be into some weird shit to answer that question.
What was it? Sin Cara and Kalisto?
Yeah, and then Del Rio.
Now, does Del Rio legit have loads of money?
I'm guessing so. He's got to be pretty well off.
And he has a mask as well if you are into that kind of thing.
Yeah, he does have a mask.
This podcast's gone to shit
you know what?
already.
I'm going to marry Sin Cara. I'll fuck Kalisto and I'll stun Del Rio. My reasonings behind this is that I'll be bigger than Kalisto. So I won't feel totally dominated. Yeah, you're right.
Insight into Michael Allen's sex life right here.
This has gone downhill. I'd marry Sin Cara because he'd be able to protect me because he is the bruiser of the WWE.
He's bigger than you.
Yeah, he's beating up half a backstage, it seems.
Yeah.
Well, Sheamus twice at least.
I think I'm bigger than Sin Cara too. And then I can stun Del Rio because he touched Paige in places that he shouldn't have.
That only you're allowed to, Michael.
No. Other people are allowed to touch her, just not Del Rio. People with some personality. Have a nice day. And that is the shortest podcast in the Out of Nowhere history.
Usos versus Fun Brie.
Stop it. Stop it.
Let's get us back on track.
Up first, I just didn't even want you to start. I didn't know where you were going. I just wanted you to stop. Up first was the women's division tag match. Charlotte, the champion, and Dana Brooke versus Sasha Banks and mystery partner. Oh, who could it be, we wondered. Did we think maybe Bailey? Did we think maybe Nikki Bella? Did we think maybe someone totally unnecessary like Nia Jax? Ugh. But it was Bailey. It was Bailey. Finally, Chelsea. Bailey makes the main roster. Were after she wasn't drafted on SmackDown? Were you scared that this wasn't going to happen?
Well, yeah. To be fair, like in the run up, even just when Sasha was coming out and stuff like that, it was just as much as I wanted it to be Bailey, I did not think for a second that it would be. I mean, if they're bringing up someone from NXT, then you automatically would have thought they'd have been drafted. But as soon as you saw that smile on Sasha's face, like you just knew. You just knew.
Yeah, it was when she got into the ring and started looking up to the Titantron at the ramp, and the crowd was shouting, "Here we want Bailey," and a smirk came across her face that she couldn't hide. She literally couldn't hide it. And then the music hit, and that smirk turned into a massive grin.
I marked out so hard, like I literally was screaming.
The entire arena was marking out with you because, my God, that was one of the biggest pops of the night.
If not the biggest. That was, like, I think we were saying before, Ollie, like, you always expected Bailey to get a good reaction, but you never know the percentage of the crowd that actually watches NXT.
And then concerned that they wouldn't have known who she was or she wouldn't transcend, as we said.
But for her to get that reaction, I mean, I when I rewatched it this morning, like literal tears in my eyes. It was incredible.
I rewatched it this morning as well, and I was more emotional this second time watching it because I don't know why. Maybe because I just expected it this time around and I could watch it with a different point of view. But yeah, Finn Balor on Twitter said he had goosebumps. Mick Foley after the show.
Corey Graves was crying on the pre-show panel.
Yeah, Corey Graves in tears. And, Booker T giving him his flannel handkerchief. All good stuff. And let's get into the match itself. The tag match was of a higher quality than maybe I would have expected. I think Dana Brooke really did a good job for her role. You know, she wasn't obviously the best wrestler there, but she did her role really well. But the match ended in Sasha Banks getting what I assume would be the win over Charlotte that would lead them into a match at SummerSlam. Oliver, did you expect it to go any other way? Did you expect this to end with the Banks statement on Charlotte?
Pretty much. I think it's kind of where you had to go with it. I don't think you could, especially once we saw that Bailey was coming out there, you couldn't, as much as WWE of old like to do it, you couldn't have, obviously, her and Sasha losing the first time they're coming out together. So it had to end with Sasha making Charlotte tap out, and we are going to get that one-on-one Sasha versus Charlotte with the title changing hands as it should have done at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I would have really liked to have seen Bailey get the win, but it wouldn't have made sense. It wasn't necessary at that point. She'd come out and she'd had her moment, and she got a win in, you know, whether or not it was by Sasha or not.
She still got to
it would have just been really nice to hear her music at the end again. And
that's what I was hoping for.
They totally could have done it with the hug at the end as well.
Yeah.
They totally could have played her music, but hey, that's a minor thing. You were talking about reaction there, and we discussed before whether or not people, the general population of the universe, watch NXT or not. Did you feel that the crowd just couldn't get a Bailey chant going properly? Like, it seemed like there was a small section somewhere that was shouting, "Here we want some Bailey," and then it just couldn't ever catch on. So I still really think that even in a pay-per-view arena like that, not many people are watching that NXT show.
I don't know. Like they were reacting to the, you know, when she does her big kind of no hand sign up to the crowd, and they were all reacting for that. And she got the big reaction at the end when they were hugging. And I think they know Bailey's bits and kind of.
Why is she on the internet too?
I really. As soon as I said it, I was like. They know.
Move on quick. We don't want to go.
They know like her big moments, as it were, like the gestures that she makes and all that. So they kind of know when to cheer for her. I just think it's a case of they need to see it on a regular basis. But I don't think we're going to get that yet. I still think that it's going to be similar to the Kevin Owens call-up, but he's not going to be up on Raw each week. It's going to be let her finish off her title match with Asuka, and then we'll see her afterwards.
Yeah, I think
we're not going to see her properly until after SummerSlam. Because she's not. They didn't say if she was a Raw or SmackDown, did they? So I think they're holding that off until after SummerSlam, and they see which women's division probably needs her.
Charles, you were going to say something?
Carry on.
Okay. Well, I have a question really about Bailey, and this really should be answered by a woman, I guess. So Chelsea, why is Bailey so relatable? Like everyone just seems to relate to her, and I don't really know why, because obviously she's a California girl. I don't know why does she seem to be so relatable?
Well, I was listening to her Talk is Jericho podcast actually the other day, and she was talking to Jericho about it when she was talking about how like creating her character and stuff like that, and it started off with her being like a massive fangirl sort of thing and just being like completely obsessed with Summer Rae, and that's where that stemmed from. And I think it is just the fact that she's just a wrestling fan, isn't she? She doesn't have a massive gimmick. She has the kids behind her from the get-go. I mean, I've seen so many posts in like Facebook groups and things like that about how people's kids who have never seen Bailey before are like already loving her. And I think it is the fact that she is just a wrestling fan, and like she performs so well in the ring as well. So she's just instantly likable. Like there's nothing for you to understand. There's nothing for you to try and get to grips with her character. She's just a good wrestler and a wrestling fan, and I think that's so relatable because that's what everybody is that watches wrestling, isn't it?
Yeah, she's the wrestling fan that made it, and you don't have to be female or to really appreciate anyone, guy, girl, child, elderly people. If you love wrestling, you see that in Bailey and how much her fandom that she has. Her entire stick at the very start, as you said, was just this massive fan who couldn't believe she was stood in the ring against the likes of Natalya and Paige and Becky at the start of it.
Yeah.
And then to see her grow from that person who always lost them but was still smiling because, oh my God, I'm there, to being the number one babyface of the company, as we've said on a regular basis, just because of how well you saw the crowd reaction to her last night. It was similar to some of the things that Daniel Bryan got when he was on his build up to the number one babyface in the company. So it's
yeah, I think the amount of people that don't watch NXT that are now going to go back and look at Bailey, I think if it is a couple of weeks before we see her again, even after SummerSlam, like her reaction is just going to get louder and louder every time. She's literally going to become the equivalent of. She's going to be the female John Cena, right, and in all the good ways.
I said this last night to you, Chelsea, and I'll just put it out on the podcast for both of you to respond to. WrestleMania, Bailey versus Sasha, Brooklyn Part 2.
Absolutely.
Like I was just going to say, the reason that we, there were tears in our eyes last night was because we cried when she beat Sasha Banks in Brooklyn for the title. The NXT title, and as you said, if they do that at WrestleMania, we'll be crying all over again when she wins her first women's title.
Right, and it's very much like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn as well with Sasha and Bailey. I mean, obviously Sasha was very much heel in NXT, and they had that feud, and it just with Sasha being face at the moment, Sasha could easily become heel again before WrestleMania, and for them two to turn on each other, they have that incredible backstory that you're so emotionally invested in. That, yeah, like you say, tears will be streaming through like when they semi-main event WrestleMania next year.
I really hope like it is, it is the co-main event.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not going to be the main event, but could you imagine the next WrestleMania. Where is it at? Florida, I think, isn't it?
Yeah,
Which is Bayley's hometown. You know.
It's all these NXT people's hometowns in essence.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, home away from home. Anyway, Bayley makes a debut, and we're all ecstatic.
Just one last thing before, just to kind of touch upon this whole WrestleMania, is Bayley and Sasha this generation's Lita and Trish, and do you think they will surpass them? In 10 years' time, 15 years' time, we'll be looking back and thinking, what Sasha and Bayley did was more impactful than what Lita and Trish did, or.
Sorry, Tosco.
I just with the way that the women's division has progressed since these girls have come along. I definitely think that even already what they've done is still, you are in 10 years going to be like that was the turning point. And both of them, they have the skill to stay around for a very long time. So easily in 10 years they could still be both multi-time champions. And it is good that this new era sort of thing of women's wrestling it has stemmed from them.
Yeah, and could they be the next Lita and Trish? Sure, but I think the difference now is that Lita and Trish were clearly the standouts, where these two are just two parts of the puzzle. We have Charlotte, who people don't like her character, and that's fine, but she's a fantastic wrestler, and no one can take that away. And Becky Lynch, and we've got Paige. That's 5 top quality wrestlers who each one of them on any given day, I would much rather watch them wrestle than 90% of the men, which is such a turnaround from where we were.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why it's just such a shame that we were so, again, in such a malaise about the women's division when we have all this talent to use.
It's like we always said, though, they have all this talent, they just keep forgetting about it or not using them correctly.
Well, hopefully now with the draft and the 2 shows, the extra live impetus, we can get something going.
Mm.
Let's move on. After the women's tag match was another tag match, and it was the New Day versus the Wyatts. Wyatts come out. The New Day come out in their usual shtick, laughing it up a bit, and then it gets a bit serious. And Xavier Woods is doing his best to remind everyone that he has a serious side. He pulls a real serious face well, doesn't he? He just drains his face out of all fun. The match kicks off, and I was expecting a bit of a clusterfuck, to be honest. But again, we have Big E shining. We have Kofi Kingston showing parts of his wrestling ability that we only ever saw really when he was in a feud with Randy Orton, which was, I don't even know how many years ago now. But the match ended up with the Wyatts getting the win, as Bray Wyatt kind of had Xavier Woods under his trance again, and then hits him with the Sister Abigail for a 3.
Bray Wyatt got a victory.
Bray Wyatt did get a pay-per-view victory, but the Wyatts are now split up, or at least one of them is. Braun Strowman's on SmackDown while the other two... No, Braun Strowman's on Raw while the other two are on SmackDown. Is this the end of Wyatts versus... Well, I don't even want to say Wyatts versus New Day. I want to say, is this the end of Bray and Xavier? Because I really don't think it is. Charles, do you think it's going to continue in any way? Or is this it? Is it done?
Well, no, I said to you last night, didn't I, about the Wyatts splitting up and how good the storyline with the New Day has been. But Bray's on Raw, isn't he?
SmackDown.
Oh, okay, it's gone that way. I really don't see how. I mean, but for them to leave something like that until SummerSlam, where it is a cross-brand pay-per-view again, I'm not going to say it's going to be forgotten, but it just won't have had any build-up unless gradually over the coming weeks Xavier Woods' beard keeps growing. I think that's the best thing I've liked about this, is the more he's under Bray Wyatt's trance, his shadow of a beard is getting stronger by the week. But I just don't see how it could. Like I say, I don't see how it could continue, and you don't have that week by week storyline from it. And if you're leaving it for 4 weeks, it's just gonna fizzle out.
Like I say, I think I got the impression last night that that was the end of it. Like, you saw in the middle of towards the 3/4 point of the match, where it was just Bray and Xavier in the ring, and Bray
started kneeling.
Yeah, Xavier started kneeling, doing the kneeling, going down. But then he broke out of it. Like, you saw him do the break out of it. I think after Kofi hit him or something, he snapped out of it. And was like, "Hang on, I've got this." And then he went hell to leather against Bray, just beating him with both of his fists. And I think that was it. That was the Xavier's his cut, whatever it was from Bray Wyatt, and is now going after him. He can actually do it now. And I think that was kind of like a symbolic kind of, and it's done. They can move on to separate things. So I don't, like as Chelsea said, I don't see how you could do it now, and especially if they want to keep it to so unique rosters. I don't think how you've just done the draft, but we're going to continue these feuds. So it's just, it seems messy at that point. After this pay-per-view, you want to clean, not to be seen again on facing each other, you know.
Yeah, I agree with those points. That I just don't understand how it would happen, but there seem to be a lot of things that suggested that it wasn't over, and I felt that it was rather conspicuous where Big E in his pre-match promo that he does in the ring, he specifically mentioned that they all got drafted together, and I was thinking, that seemed a bit weird. Just it seemed out of place with what he was saying. And I thought maybe it was a bit of foreshadowing that, yeah, they got drafted together, but maybe they're going to get split up still anyway. I don't know. Maybe I was just thinking too much into it. But the match, I expected a bit of a cluster. Big E almost killed himself with a super spear on Strowman and literally landed on top of his head out on the ring apron. You got to be careful with that spear, haven't you?
Yeah, that looked. We had a few of those tonight, didn't we? Where it was
there was, yeah.
But
well, what was there was one in the women's match, wasn't there? Oh yeah, Sasha Banks with a Hurricanrana, and she just totally fell on the back of her head.
Yeah.
And then this one, and then we had even more later on in the night, but it seemed that there's a lot of moves that they do quite regularly that are just not being performed as perfectly as we've seen them in the past. But I totally think this one is just because of how big Strowman is.
yeah,
like he speared him and he just didn't move.
Speaking of Strowman, as you brought him up, how do you think he's going to do on Raw by himself? Because Rowan and Wyatt both got drafted to SmackDown, but Strowman's on himself on Raw.
Strowman's one of them people that, other than when he's been in these tag matches, like I completely forget about him. Like when he just pops up, I was like, oh yeah, it's Braun Strowman. He has no individual character, does he? He has no individuality to him that you're going to get invested in. So I don't even think I've ever heard him speak either.
He's had his little one-liners here and there in the Wyatt promos, but yeah, nothing extensive.
No, I have no idea what they're going to do with him, to be honest. I think it's a bit silly that he was drafted by himself. But they must have a plan for him, I guess, if they went out of their way to take him, but I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. It's totally weird. Out of the ones that you would have put on their own, he was not the one.
No, definitely not.
But we'll see, I guess. And so the Wyatts get a win over the New Day, and finally, the Wyatts get a pay-per-view win. Yay! After this match was the United States title match. Champion Rusev up against my boy Zack Ryder. Now, I missed Lana's entrance. But Lana was smoking hot today.
The wedding gear.
Yeah.
When she did come out like that, I was half expecting. I was like, are they going to do some like weird wedding shit? We're going to have to get one of those, aren't we?
What,
We
Rusev, Lana, WWE
Rusev
wedding in the
Lana
ring?
wedding. Yeah, definitely.
As long as it's. I was going to say as long as there isn't one, but maybe I do want a live sex show red celebration. I don't know.
That would definitely pull in their ratings.
Lana sex show. This podcast seems very much has a theme. Let's get off of it. Let's go to someone else's entrance. Zack Ryder comes in wearing the red, white, and blue. He has a Macho Man Randy Savage inspired jacket on. He has the Ultimate Warrior inspired pants on. And he comes out in American flag, which indicates every single time that they're going to lose. I don't remember the last time anyone came out in colours for their flag in a United States title match against Rusev that doesn't lose, such as Mark Henry, such as Jack Swagger. I mean, Cena never done that. Could you imagine if Cena came out in red, white, and blue shorts looking a bit like Apollo Creed? Did I get that right? Yeah, I did get it right. I thought I said Apollo Crews there.
No, you got it right.
Yeah, I got it right.
Well, we're still yet to get Rusev versus Apollo Crews, so you never know.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, if he wears those those shorts, that's too much. Far too much.
Is Apollo Crews American?
Yeah? What did you... Is he not?
I don't know.
He seems very American. What do you think he is?
Born Sacramento, California. He's American,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm sure his dad's from. Oh, he said it in his NXT. You know his videos he's had. His dad, he flew over.
I mean, I'd guess a country, but it could just totally be racist. That I just pick a country out and it's like an African country. I've no idea.
Well, I've no idea.
Like I just want to say Nigeria, but I don't know.
Oh,
Let's not go there.
Oh no, I don't know why. No, Nigeria was in my head as if like, oh yeah, I remember those videos. I think it might be Nigeria, but then again, I have no reason as to why, other than I think that's what he said. I don't know.
Yeah, he was born in California, but I'm fairly certain his family's from.
Yeah,
Because I can't
now
remember those videos enough.
Now you've said it, it does ring a bell. Anyway, still your champion is Rusev, but Zack Ryder put up a hell of a fight.
At one point, I almost thought he was going to win it. Like I honestly thought they're going to give it to him.
yeah, I mean, when he was in that accolade and it looked like he was going to break out of it, I actually thought for a second, like, are they actually going to let Zack Ryder win this? Like, is he going to break out the accolade? Like, Zack Ryder breaking out of an accolade, but unfortunately not. But no, there was a split second where I had every faith in Zack Ryder.
Family life. He and his sister are a member of the United States Army of Nigerian descent.
Ah, got it. Not racist.
There's something you always want to be able to clarify.
Yeah, just like to make sure. Yeah, there's one part of this match that did not make sense, and that was Zack Ryder breaking out of the accolade. Now, I'm I'm all for Zack Ryder, but there's no way in hell that he has the strength to break an accolade from Rusev. Sorry, that's just not believable. But great effort from Ryder. I liked it. Then the part that really, kind of stuck the knife in. Yes, my boy lost. But then at the end of the match, Rusev starts to attack Ryder. And then it was a question of who's going to come down and help Zack Ryder. And I was thinking, oh, maybe where we're going to go with this. I've heard a lot of rumours about Kurt Angle. Maybe Kurt Angle come down. No. Mojo
that is
Raw.
set in the bar high.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Maybe that's why I was so disappointed. No, Mojo Rawley makes his way out, and it doesn't attack Rusev. They just stare at each other.
Well. Staring's a polite way of saying Mojo Rawley screamed at Rusev's face horrifically, and Rusev was like, no.
Yeah, he didn't even bat an eyelid, did he?
Well, you said to me last night you were like expecting like a Mojo Rawley heel turn.
Well, it seemed that way. I mean, whoever comes down to defend somebody and stands in the ring just shouting at him, like, if they're going to defend him, they beat him up. And I was thinking, oh shit, maybe Mojo's going to turn around and help Zack up and then totally lay him out. Which would have been far more interesting than whatever shit they're going to go down now.
It's just the Hype Bros back together.
No, we don't
say goodbye. Say goodbye to Zack Ryder's singles runs. This is going to be all Hype Bros from here on out.
Well, basically, what they've done is put the NXT tag division on SmackDown.
Yeah.
But why bring the shit one?
First, you need to fill it out somehow. You got to have one tag team that seems to be like of the job of variety, and that's what they're going to be. Like, they're going to be the lower end of the tag team poll, but it helps SmackDown's tag division.
Is the Ascension on SmackDown?
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go then. That's for you.
Genuinely, I hope the Ascension find their way. Like, I hope they get a chance because they were so good down in NXT.
They really were. I think it's just that stupid costumes and stuff that they had when they came up to Raw. I mean, when they went back down to NXT to have that match back down there, like, it just reminded you like how good they are and how good they were, and given a chance and not in that stupid get-up that they're in. I'd definitely like to see them be pushed.
I don't think the stupid get-up makes them not a viable tag team. I mean, need I remind you that the Legion of Doom Road Warriors came out in fucking spiky NFL football pads? You know?
It's just... I don't know if saying hard to take seriously is the right thing to say about it, because obviously you look at them and they're quite serious, but I don't know, I think it...
I know what their problem is.
Okay.
They ain't hype. That's the problem.
I'm not going to lie, I think SmackDown actually has the best tag team division.
Go on then, lay it on us.
So, of course, you've got Chad Gable and Jason Jordan.
Who?
Chad Gable, Jason Jordan, American Alpha.
Never heard of him.
So you've got American Alpha, you've got the Ascension, you've got Tyler Breeze and Fandango, and you've got the Vaudevillains. It's literally the NXT tag division, all on SmackDown. That's all they've done.
What are the tag teams for Raw? If you have that information to hand.
Enzo and Cass.
Enzo and Cass, the Club, and the Wyatt family.
I wouldn't say SmackDown has... I mean, other than American Alpha, take them out of the equation. Then...
American Alpha's matches with the Vaudevillains, American Alpha potential matches with the Usos.
Wow, I can't wait for that.
And then Raw's... SmackDown's got the more well-rounded, I think, division, whereas Raw's got those three, then it's the Shining Stars and whatever you're left of the Dudley Boys.
No, the Dudley Boys. Poor Dudley Boys.
I'm just looking at the rosters now. I want to see what else they have there.
Wait for the cars and bikes to run away from Chelsea's window. Yeah, the tag team division seems to be more populated in SmackDown than Raw, but doesn't necessarily mean it's better. But maybe that's where... Well, I was going to say that's where the tag team championships are going to live, but they're not. They're already on Raw, so go figure. Who knows? I really don't want to get the point where we have two different tag team title belts again.
No.
I really didn't like that, but it doesn't make...
I think that's what we're going to get, though. I think you're going to have another...
Yeah, we're going to have to, aren't we? We're going to have to.
Title.
But then...
a second women's title, what's it going to be? Is it going to be the old, original women's title? Well, I say original. No, not the Divas one. The one that Lita and Trish used to fight for. Yeah.
I think that's how it's got to work. Otherwise, the other show's division seems
pointless. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, that's another topic that we definitely didn't mean to get down on. Let's keep going through the show. And next up was, by far, in my opinion, the match of the night. We had Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, and we have. If you've been listening to our latest podcast, I know it's been difficult to lately, but if you have actually listened to our podcast, you will have noticed that our love for watching Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens build up to the pay-per-views has kind of waned a little. We've kind of been a bit stale on the whole. Oh, they've crossed in the back. We need to punch each other as much as possible. But damn, when they get in the ring, it is nothing but sublime. Like, this is just perfect. They couldn't have asked for any more from this match.
Yeah, I think I was saying yesterday, like the build up and everything between them, and then just interfering in matches and just punching each other in the head. Like I was getting bored of it, and like these two are easily two of my favorite wrestlers at the moment, and to start thinking like that was horrible. But like you say, when the match starts, you could be like, okay, yeah, this is why we like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, because as soon as they step in the ring together and they put on a match of that caliber, it's like I want more now. Like if you'd have asked me last week, it'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm kind of glad that they're having this final face-off, but now they've had that match, like I want them to fight again.
Now there's so many parts in the match that highlights that I want to point out. The Michinoku driver that Zayn does I love the Michinoku driver. I don't know why, but I just really like the Michinoku driver. So that was a good one. The Sami Zayn, oh man, he tried his bounce on the rope, flip to the outside, and totally fucked it up.
That was brutal.
Yeah, I mean, like he landed on his shoulder. He landed straight on his shoulder onto the ring apron. And man, that must have hurt. But let's get away from the botches and talk about the awesome parts. The brainbuster to the ring apron is brutal.
I can't believe they brought out the brainbuster. I was like,
No.
oh my god! Like I've been waiting for him to do bring that out because the movie's not done yet, and it's like, it wasn't on the ring post, but I'll take it.
No, no, not on the ring post. We then had the.
I would have loved to have heard Corey Graves call it, because he would have shouted brainbuster, unlike JBL and Michael Cole was like, was brainbuster? Was that brainbuster? That was a. It's like, no, for fuck's sake, you missed it. It was Corey Graves who shouted out brainbuster. Like it was at the kitchen. I said everyone would be happy, but no. Anyway.
Well, luckily this Monday night on Raw. Hey,
I'm so excited for Corey to be on Raw.
I know, I'm so happy for him, but what happens to NXT? This is going down another path, but who's going to be on the NXT commentary? Is it still going to be Corey Graves?
Well, he's doing main event. He's doing main event or superstars as well, isn't he?
Tom Phillips, he does one, and then Brian Saxton does the other with Tom Phillips. So Tom Phillips does both, and Corey Graves does one of them, and Brian Saxton is the other one.
I thought it was Otunga that was doing the other one.
No, Otunga, sorry, so Otunga, not Saxton, is the other one. And then.
Oh, yes. You racist. Any old black man will do.
I forgot that Otunga would become a commentator because the man hasn't been in the company for 5 fucking years.
I know. What has he been doing? I mean, he's been on the payroll. He must have been doing something.
Like, at one point I thought he was becoming the new JTG, where every time they did releases, they'd just forget about him at the back.
He's just hiding.
Every time that phone rings, some cat, was it Kenya? Cat was his name, is the guy from Road from Kate? What the fuck is his name?
I don't know, but Vince McMahon obviously just knows that he doesn't exist.
I think they must use him for his lawyery stuff. Otherwise, what purpose does he serve? Anyway.
Is he married to what's her name?
Right, let's just stop a second, because Ollie, you've lost your fucking mind.
He's married to Jennifer Hudson.
There you go, that's it. That's why he's still on the payroll.
He's married to what's her name, and you started telling us about some dude, and you still don't know who you're talking about.
And the guy in the I remember the name of the show now as well. On the WWE on the network, the show
Swerved.
NXT developmental guys.
Breaking Ground?
That's the one. The guy who's in that, who's the head of a talent, whatever it is.
Oh, right, yeah, okay. What about him?
It doesn't matter now, it's gone, it's past. The joke's gone. You're making me go back and explain it.
I know you were joking, I thought you were giving a serious point.
No. Fuck no, when do I ever make a fucking serious point?
How the hell did we get onto this?
I think that's going to be the name of this bloody podcast. How the hell did we end up here? Tangent City.
What were we even talking about?
Well, do you know two guys who came from NXT? Owens and Zayn. Back to their match. Seamless. Absolutely seamless. We finish with a Sami Zayn exploder suplex straight out off the floor into another exploder suplex. Helluva kick. Helluva kick again. Game over.
You missed that little cuddle, though. It was a hell of a kick. Little cuddle, hell of a kick.
Yeah. Now, one thing that really annoyed me is that seriously, at any point, Chelsea, at any point after that first Helluva kick, and he fell onto him. Now, Michael Cole tried to sell this as, oh, he's giving him compassion. Did that ever once cross your mind? Because it did not go through my mind once.
Well, for a second, I thought, like, why isn't he pinning him? And B, after the whole, like, Kevin Owens promo that I had a couple of weeks ago where he was like, oh, you're the shit friend, I was just doing what I had to do, blah, 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 blah. So, is he going to not pin him? But then, yeah, so that thought did cross my mind, but obviously when he went for the Helluva kick again, it was awesome.
Ollie, was you expecting Zayn to get the win, or did you think Owens was going to round out the series as the winner?
I think Sami Zayn needed the victory almost. Because, like, he's all but one random match on Raw, which I'm still pissed off about. Kevin Owens has won every single match those two have pretty much had in the WWE.
Yeah, could you imagine if this was the first time he won, and you could have totally played that over?
You could have told that story that you've never beaten me, I've always beaten you, but no, let's give that away on a fucking Raw.
Fuck Raw! I don't even want to watch any matches on Raw. I just want talking.
Oh, but no, I think Sami Zayn needed it, and with the story that they're telling where Kevin Owens is sass queen, bitch face, why is everyone getting picked before I am? Rah! I think it helps build into that story of, fuck Sami Zayn, I've just lost to him, and I got picked like number 20th or whatever it was in the draft. Fuck everyone.
I'd really like if Alexa Bliss and Kevin Owens worked together.
Oh my god, I've never thought of that before, but that's just...
Like, I don't know why or who it would even benefit, but could you just imagine the sass and the bitchiness?
Oh my god, just Alexa Bliss is just resting bitch face behind Kevin Owens. Oh,
but Kevin Owens has a family and a son.
Who cares? Other than him. Yes, I want Kevin Owens and Alexa Bliss.
Maybe his wife?
No, Kevin Owens and Alexa Bliss, I want that more than Finn Balor and Bayley.
No, you do not. Don't lie.
What I do want to see is Kevin Owens get forcibly drafted off Raw, like as in he gets forced to have to trade because Mick Foley doesn't want anything to do with him because he's too much of a kind of... Because I don't see how after last night, I don't see how you can have both Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn on the same show. So tonight you get Kevin Owens causing so much of a ruckus that he gets forced over to SmackDown, like Mick Foley's begging like Shane and Daniel to take him off their hands, you know?
That's a good thing, actually. A good point. Do you think randomly during the year they'll go, do you know what, we've made a trade? That'd be awesome.
That's what I loved about the kind of the original one, where you did get these big trades and like big plays and it kind of goes into it, doesn't it? You see it in the NFL, and it's kind of like you've done the draft, so you may as well do trades as well, you know?
And if you just put a totally arbitrary, oh, this is trade deadline day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then you can just make stories out of that all the time, and that will drive social media. It'll drive website traffic. Come on, WWE, hit us up, man. We've got it down for you.
I'd love to see it like at the start. By the end of the night, Mick Foley and Stephanie are on the phone to like, you know, Kevin Owens has caused some massive kind of clusterfuck and he's just wreaking havoc. And by the end of the night, they're like, right, I'm going to have to make a phone call. Then on SmackDown, the first music hit you hear is Kevin Owens' music theme as the entrance to SmackDown Live. And it's like, what the fuck's he doing here? And you find out, oh, they drafted him over.
Now, I want to make I was going to say a request, but I think it might be a demand. We're not calling SmackDown Live SmackDown Live.
No.
On this podcast. We are calling it SmackDown. We're dropping the live. It doesn't need the live. And if anyone mentions it as SmackDown Live, I'm just editing it out.
Well, I'm going to call Raw Live then. Just to fuck it.
No,
Raw
no.
Live, it's SmackDown Live, it's NXT Live.
That is fine by me. The WWE just need to stick with one of them. You know? If SmackDown is live, so is Raw. The only one that isn't is NXT, so if you call NXT live, that's bullshit, man. Too far.
It's occasionally live for TakeOver.
That's fine. Yeah, that's okay. Do that, that's okay. But man, Raw's live too, why not give that some love? Anyway, moving on to another... Fuck's sake.
I just earlier thought got
Fuck Mary Studd. Kevin Owens?
Surprisingly not. What I was going to say is Sami Zayn's this year's MVP of the WWE. Like, is he Wrestler of the Year?
No.
Are
Sasha
you
Banks.
talking? Are you talking about like when we get to the Slammy Awards?
Yeah, like I think right now, like the matches Sami Zayn's had on a regular, consistent basis, I'd say he's got to be a contender of MVP of the Year.
Oh, I doubt it. As much as he could potentially deserve it. It's going to be. Who won it? It was Roman Reigns that won it last year. Sorry,
in all seriousness, how is it not Kevin Owens?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, he's never going to win it. But how is it not? He's been
just imagine the sass that would come out of his mouth if he got voted Superstar of the Year.
I mean, he'd make a Slammy mean something. Not just... I mean, who was that tag team who just kept bringing it? It was the Usos, wasn't it? He just kept bringing it down to the ring. It was like, what the fuck? You're doing nothing with it. You know what I find strange about the Usos? Tangent, surprisingly. But do you know what I find strange about the Usos? If you watch them on like Up, Down, Down, or on that draft show live backstage stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oozes personality and oozes confidence, and like when you give him a microphone in the middle of the ring, it's utter trough. What's the deal with that?
No, even on Total Divas, another tangent. Like,
I don't accept the tangent of Total Divas. Although, at the end of where I've just watched Battleground, it said suggested viewing for after Battleground was Total Divas.
Yeah, I know, that's what my TV's stuck on now.
I was like, why? Why would that be the best suggested viewing after that? Anyway. So that's the Usos. Next up, speaking of someone who's on Total Divas, Natalya. Natalya was in a match with Becky Lynch. Apparently it was a submissions match. I did not know that.
I did not know that until I rewatched it before. I had no idea that was even a thing.
Did you know it was a thing, Ollie?
I didn't even know it was a thing now, and I watched the match.
Exactly right. I'm pretty sure I saw pin attempts, but maybe probably not. Apparently, it was a submissions match, which go figure. The match ended in.
I'm reading a report here. Lynch performed an exploded suplex and got a 2 count. You sure it was a submission match?
Yeah. They said it was a submission match when they were announcing it.
My list here says...
There's like multiple 2 counts in this fucking report. Lynch performed a missile dropkick that led to a 2 count.
Yeah, I've got the same thing actually. It says submission match and also a 2 count. I don't know. Go figure. But it says here it was a submissions match. I don't know.
That's definitely what it was announced as.
I don't know. Go figure. Yeah. Anyway, the match did end in a submission, thankfully.
The match just thankfully fucking ended.
And Natalya... Oh, will you shut up? Natalya got the win over Becky, which I thought was a surprise win, with a sharpshooter. Oliver, you've got something to say.
Not particularly, it was a bit of a nothing match.
It was
It's a bit of a nothing, like, as great as it was, like, having a second women match on the card and them actually giving them the time, this whole feud's been a bit like, it's felt very rushed and put together, as in, like, I think this is all meant to be, like, Emma versus Becky originally until Emma's injury, so they've kind of gone, oh, we put Natty in there, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I never understood Natty's heel turn. Don't know why. But I think From a match point of view, I mean, the wrestling was great.
Well, it's always going to be with the Hart Family Dungeon Empress, Natalia, and Becky Lynch being two good technical wrestlers. I don't think that was ever going to be a question, but
No, the crowd the crowd weren't into this match either, which doesn't help.
That's the sad thing. But the thing that stuck out to me most, it didn't really stick out. I kind of extrapolated it from it. This is SmackDown's top women.
Yeah.
And the crowd couldn't give a fuck. So in my head, SmackDown's going to be the place where women go to die.
I think it's more of like they want to care about Becky, they're just sick of Natalia.
But who could she go up against instead? No, Baron Corbin is not going to go against Becky Lynch. Come on, Chelsea. I don't know if there's an answer to that question. Carmella?
I'm trying to work out who got drafted too.
It's very much going to be Carmella and Alexa Bliss, isn't it, that's going to join them?
Is Bliss on SmackDown?
Yeah.
I would happily watch Alexa Bliss, Carmella, Becky Lynch.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just the NXT Women's Division.
Basically, WWE is now NXT with the odd.
Effectively.
Well, Raw is really. I mean, you got Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Finn. Oh, I cannot wait to watch Raw tonight. Finn Balor.
Chelsea, we'll get there. Don't mark out too much.
It's his birthday today, isn't it?
It is his birthday today. So
and it's Raw.
Exactly. I can get a massive. Oh.
We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Okay.
Chill. Anything to be said about the women's match before we move on?
Quickly, when do you think the last time Becky Lynch got a victory was?
Back in 1922.
I want to bring this up. Like, I was scrolling through Reddit before, and somebody made this comment about Becky Lynch never getting a win, and I don't know how accurate this is, but apparently she's something out like 6 out of 9 matches she's actually won, and the ones that she's lost have ended in no contest.
Let's take a look at her 2016.
Because I can't.
Defeated by pin at Money in the Bank, defeated by submission at WrestleMania 32, defeated by submission at Fastlane,
okay, so basically
Reddit's
piece of shit.
16. Okay. She lost at Money in the Bank, she's lost at WrestleMania, she lost at Fastlane, she lost at Royal Rumble.
That person needs to sort their facts out.
Let's go back into 2015 here.
Just when you thought you could trust the internet.
She lost at the network specials, she lost at SummerSlam, she lost at Unstoppable, she lost at NXT TakeOver Rival.
Can you tell me when she won?
I don't think she's actually run a pay-per-view yet. Like, I'm not kidding, she hasn't. You got, NXT Rival lost. Yeah, she's lost all her pay-per-view matches.
Okay, well maybe that person was talking about her Raw matches then, because I definitely don't remember her losing that many on Raw.
Let's go to. All right, let's take a look at these then. But she's yet to win a pay-per-view, which I find fucking ridiculous. She never won an NXT either.
Becky Lynch is so good. I just hope that they one day play out the Bayley storyline with her.
Fuck. So, Battleground defeated, Live SummerSlam Tour defeated, Monday Night Raw defeated, MSG House Show defeated, Live SummerSlam Heatwave Tour defeated, Main Event Taping defeated, Superstar Staging defeated, SmackDown Taping draw, Monday Night Raw defeated, Live Tokyo defeated, Live Hawaii defeated, Monday Night Raw draw. I'm not seeing any wins.
Come on, Becky.
I'm scrolling down, I'm into May. This is both this is house shows, tapings, Superstars, Main Event, you name it. Raws and SmackDowns. Ooh, it's a deep note. I'm back to March. Still nothing. I don't think she's...
Okay, so we had give Natty a chance. We need to change it back to give Becky a chance.
Give Becky something, for the love of God. She's going to commit suicide at this rate.
Jeez.
I don't think she is. She's got more to live for. Do you know, if she is feeling a bit down and depressed, I know something that will take her out of it. And I think she needs Bob Backlund. Speaking of Bob Backlund, Darren Young versus The Miz. Fucking hell. Was the next match. And we have The Miz being accompanied by... Alright, Chelsea. Alright.
I don't think Becky's actually won a match all year according to this.
We've moved on. Fucking hell. Is she alive? Is she okay?
Bob Backlund, you were saying.
I think maybe we should start calling Becky Lynch live just to make sure that she is. Anyway, Bob Backlund and Maurice accompany the Miz and Darren Young for the Intercontinental titleship. That's a great word. Championship match. We had a bit of a back and forth. There was some alright sections of this match. I really think they could put on a match that doesn't end with Maurice getting involved in any way. But hey, that's what she's there for, right? So, it was a bit of a weird ending to this match, don't you think?
What? Yeah. Can someone please tell me what happened?
Well,
like, why did the bell get rung? Because it's submissions outside the ring. Is that a thing?
No. Well, the match ended in disqualification. I think the official result is that the Miz defeated Darren Young by disqualification. I think that was the. I think that was the official thing in the end, which I mean doesn't make any sense. It was either a double DQ or nothing. But yeah, I mean it was so weird. Like I don't even understand. Maurice fell to the floor at one point and started shouting at Bob Backlund, and as if Bob Backlund had hit her. But I was like, I just
nowhere near her. Nobody was anywhere near her, and she just like dropped to her knees to like try and sell something. The ending of this was just a shambles.
She tried to do like the Eddie Guerrero, throw a punch, but they hit me type thing.
Nobody was near her. Nobody was close enough to even.
So was she just doing it? Was she just doing it?
Mrs. Q?
No.
Bob Backlund was actually meant to hit Maurice.
That's a good point. Actually.
From what I told from that, I think she's meant to try and agonise Backlund, not that he needs it, to make it look like she hit her. So she'd be like, "Oh, he's hit me, get him ejected."
Or was it just that she fell to the floor? She fell to the floor, so the Miz thought that she'd been hit, and then he'd go out and hit Backlund.
But nobody was near her. You'd have to be blind to.
Or in the middle of a wrestling match, and not paying attention.
WWE referees.
Anyway, the one thing that totally weirded me out is that the fact that Bob Backlund just started ripping off his shirt for no reason whatsoever. But yeah, strange match, strange ending, strange outcome, strange decision.
But that's the thing; they can't even continue this because they're on separate brands.
Yeah, this just smacked of, hey, the Miz needs to retain this title one way or another. That was it, right?
We're gonna get Darren Young versus Rusev.
Well, it wouldn't.
Rusev.
Rusev. Debuting tonight. Finn Balor is now called Yusuf. I don't know. It's just totally weird. Let's just get off this match and get on to something that was not weird, but totally hilarious. And next up was John Cena, Enzo, and Cass versus The Club. And
the Mount Rushmore of G's.
Yeah, I have been a vocal.
Wow, are we going to get this? Is this going to happen?
Hater.
Is this going to happen? Are you?
No. I have been a vocal detractor of Enzo and Cass for their in-ring ability. But there's one thing that could never be questioned, and that is Enzo, not Cass, but Enzo's mic work. And tonight, he was on his top form. Like there was just so many things I don't even know where to begin. Like all I can do is just implore you to go onto the network, go onto YouTube. I'm sure the WWE Network YouTube channel will have put it up on there at some point. Like he was just on fire. I don't know if there's anything else I can say to that. Charles, did you wanna?
I just some of the stuff that he comes out with is literally stupid. I mean, there was 3 of them, and together we're like 4G. We're well connected. Like.
Yeah, I mean that was clever though, wasn't it? Right? Like,
yeah. Like
there's
it's
2 Gs. We've got John Cena, and because we know John Cena, we're well connected. That's our 4th G done. The way your mind's got to work in a very peculiar way to even think that.
Oh, definitely. But I really, really loved like those 2 and John Cena together. Like John Cena, since he's come back, I mean, you can kind of see a sprinkling of his thugonomics, and just his character seems a lot more. I don't know. It seems a lot more like himself, I think is a good way to put it. Because like outside of WWE, whenever he's hosting like TV shows or anything like that, the guy is absolutely hilarious. And they just seem to be bringing a lot more of that into the ring now, and pairing them up with Enzo and Cass. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And out of the ring stuff, that was by far my favorite like promo section of the night or whatever. It was. Genius.
I mean, could you? I mean, I was happy with this. It was all good. I was quite impressed. I was pleased. But now you've brought it up, I'm totally disappointed that we didn't have the Doctor of Thugonomics maker showing as well. Because that would have been just fucking far too much for me to take.
That would have.
Like I don't know how he could have linked it in. He did the Washington Washington can't DC me line, which was really well done. And if they just could have linked it into some sort of John Cena rap rather than Enzo, Cass taking the reins after Enzo, is like, ugh. It always just feels a bit forced from Cass. And he tries his best, bless him.
Yeah, I definitely would have liked to have seen John Cena have the mic, because, like I said, the guy's hilarious, and if he carries on like this, like I am absolutely loving John Cena at the moment.
Well, guess what? We're not going to see Enzo and Cass and John Cena team up because now they're on separate shows, sad times. And speaking of separate shows, so are the club. AJ Styles and Gallows and Anderson are spread out as well. So this was the last time we was going to see this match. The match concludes with Cena attempting an AA being reversed. Enzo. Oh, I don't even remember now. What did Enzo do then? Enzo ducks clothesline. Cena comes back into the ring, sends Gallows out of the ring. Another. Anyway, there was an AA to Styles. Cena gets the win.
AA from the top rope, to be fair, though.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what it was. I knew there was something.
AA from the top rope.
AA from the top. John Cena gets the win over Styles, and that will continue to SummerSlam. So we can finally get that 3rd match. That makes sense, right?
I'm excited.
That's how it's going to go. And if it goes this way, oh no, wait, it can't be. Never mind. I was going to say that could be for the title, but the title
we'll get onto later.
Yeah, we'll get onto later. Can I just say, I'll ask a question, Ollie. We've not been the biggest fans of how the club have, portrayed themselves in the ring since coming over. Yeah, they've been great. They've been good, but they've not been great. I thought that this match they were really, really good, and especially Anderson. I thought Anderson in this match was fantastic.
Like Carl Anderson has always been treated like a big thing in Japan. Like he had his big stand-up moments when he was over there, when he was with Finn as part of like the original kind of Bullet Club lineup. Anderson went further in some of the G1 competitions they had over there than Finn did. So the dude can go. Like he's proved it, and I'm just finally glad that you're getting to see it, because it has felt at times that they've been the stooges for AJ. Eating the losses that he can't. So it's nice to see that, yes, Carl Anderson can go. He used the machine gun for a reason, and the man's fast for how big he is. And Luke Gallows, it's Luke Gallows as well. Like Luke Gallows, Doc Gallows. Yes, he was Festus. Yes, he didn't do much in the straight edge society, but there's a reason these two would like down as Carl Anderson's the most dominant tag team wrestler in Japan, and Gallows is not far behind him. So it's about time, and I think separating them from AJ, we might finally get to see them actually do their thing as a tag team. Maybe
now, separating as a tag team, are they going to get a new leader? They're not
separating, they're expanding.
Sorry, let's get on brand. With them expanding to separate shows, Doc and Carl going to get a new leader in Finn Balor?
If Finn debuts tonight and he debuts as a heel with the Bullet Club, you will be able to hear my mark out from Leeds and London.
You'll wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, here we go.
I'm not sure. Right, hold on. She'll do what now?
Oh God.
I just like in my head that in your house, someone's about to run into the door and go, "What's wrong?" Oh man.
Probably. I'll let you know if the ambulance turns up.
But yeah, I don't know if it's possible, but I think if he does debut, he is heel and he is with the club, that your message to our group chat will be actually loud. I don't know if that's possible, but it will literally shout out at us.
Chelsea, would you be disappointed if, like, I imagine there's going to be they're going to have to cross paths at some point in references, but would you be disappointed if Finn's not part of the club and they are two completely separate things?
No, I definitely wouldn't be.
I think there is potential for you to be.
I think the worst possible outcome I can think of is the club go to crap and they get no. Like, the way I'm thinking this is heading with the whole expanding thing is AJ is going to recruit people into the club from SmackDown. I'd love to see Finn obviously join them with Anderson and Gallows and it go that way. But I think the only thing that would disappoint me is when it comes to Finn is if with this whole cruiserweight thing if that is where he is put into and where he is stuck. I think that's the only thing that I'd be really disappointed in.
And that's exactly how you'd be disappointed. But it depends.
Fantasy booking here. Just want to throw it out because you touched upon something there and I can give the whole expanding thing. Idea just popped in my head.
Okay, I'm ready.
So you've got Finn and Gallows and Anderson on Raw. You've got AJ looking for a new club members.
Yeah.
So maybe he goes to American Alpha because they're the biggest tag team right now, and they're like, no, they're too big of faces to turn an AJ. So like, that's fine then, whatever. But you get a team who have taken a few mannerisms from AJ's previous team in part of the Bullet Club, who love to throw a couple of super kicks knocking around. Usos.
Oh, don't.
Are you off your head?
Listen to me. They're getting a shit ton of heat right now as it is, just because of everything that happened to Roman Reigns.
Hold on. The Usos... Oh, I got no. I'll wait.
I think Usos at this point need to be turned heel. There's like no two ways about it. They've done everything they can as a face. They need to do something fucking different.
I think there is
the Usos
potential for I think there is potential for AJ to recruit, but that's not the tag team I would see them recruiting.
Because I can't see it being Chad Gable and Jason Jordan. Can't see
it.
I wouldn't want that. No.
Can't see it being the Vaudevillains.
Why not?
Why?
That's the obvious
answer.
You think the Vaudevillains is the obvious answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain.
Well, they're already heel. Could you imagine just AJ Styles in the middle and just Simon Gotch and the other guy I can never remember the name of? No,
Simon and Garfunkel, come on.
No, like I think Michael's got it there. That they are the obvious answer. That that AJ would go straight to. I can't think of anybody else that'd work.
The Vaudevillains, really?
How about the Revival?
That's what I'd say. The Revival would be the one to call up. The Revival would be the tag team that you'd call up to be part of the new club.
Okay, yeah. If the Revival were there, then I would literally lose my shit over that.
Bailey wasn't there. Now she is. No.
Okay. So the club. Let me get this straight in my head because I just can't.
I can't comprehend.
I can't comprehend it. So on Raw you have Finn, Anderson, and Gallows, and then on SmackDown you have AJ Styles, Dash, and Dawson.
Yep. Or you have Finn Balor and the club, and then you have AJ Styles and Jimmy and Jay.
I still think the Usos could work.
No.
I think the Usos as a heel turn could work.
No.
They are totally the wrong characters for that.
Yeah, that would be the thing I would be most disappointed about. I would take like the Ascension over the Usos.
No,
that makes sense too, because
it does.
Gallows and Anderson, used to put on face paint and stuff back in Japan. Just change the red and black into black and white, and there you go. Ascension's part of the club.
I would quite enjoy that. I mean, if anything, that would be nothing but good for the Ascension. But no, Usos.
Overall,
no.
We haven't got a fucking clue. But there's three options that we've just given him. But I do think Jimmy and Jay is the worst one out of the lot.
100%.
I think it'd surprise you if it happened.
Have you been reading Reddit again? You've got the answers somewhere.
I've not got the answers. Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, that was the end of the AJ. God, it seemed a long time ago since we talked about John Cena and Enzo Cass, but that's the end of that discussion. Next up was my favourite out of the ring segment of the night, and that was the highlight reel: Chris Jericho and Randy Orton.
I think it's safe to say it's the best out of the ring segment we've had on the pay-per-view ever.
Yeah, maybe.
These are always the pizza break of the shows.
Now, before the podcast, Ollie was coming from work. He was just watching the end of the show, and he said, "I've just got to the Orton and Jericho bit, thinking of skipping."
No.
And the answer was, "Don't skip it." I know most of the time these segments in pay-per-views are skippable. It is basically shilling for the company, but this had so much to it. Let's just... I don't even know which bit to begin with. I think just the comedy section of it I want to go with first. Chris Jericho, you wonderful, wonderful man. You are going to leave and I'm going to hate that soon, but while you're here I'm just going to enjoy it because you're doing the best stuff that you've done.
Hey, he's here all year. He's here all year.
Alright, that's only 6 months.
But another 6 months of this Chris Jericho,
he was so good. He was. I want to say he was back to his old best, but I mean, I don't think he'll ever get back to that debut that he did on Monday Night Raw against The Rock. But man, this was so good.
No, I said to Ross, I think it was before, like Chris Jericho. If you ask me who my favorite wrestler was, it would probably be Chris Jericho. And since he's come back, I think the time before, I can't remember the last time before this when he was about, and I was very impartial to it. I didn't really care. But now he's come back and he has been nothing but top form, and this is one of the most enjoyable times that I've ever found with Jericho. And his facial expressions, just the way he acts, and he is literally like a stroppy child. And this whole segment was a carry on. The part that I mean, it was just a throwaway line, but it really made me laugh was when Jericho said he should be grateful Orton is making a return on his show and in the same room with him, and he just goes, "You're welcome." And I know that's a Damien Sandow line, but the face that Jericho pulled while he was saying it just made me laugh so much.
He also pulled out an Al Snow quote as well, which I found hilarious.
What was the Al Snow quote?
What does everybody want? What does everybody need?
Did he say that?
He did, yeah. He builds up into it. I can't remember what he followed it up with, but yeah, he does quote, "What does everybody want? What everybody needs." I think he said Chris Jericho or something like that afterwards. But yeah, he quoted El Snow.
Oh, here we go. He says that he's going to give Orton a present to help him with Brock Lesnar and make him a better performance. Something everybody wants and that everybody needs. He said he's going to give him the gift of Jericho.
That was it.
To which Orton replied that Chris Jericho's hair is similar to Ellen DeGeneres. So, yeah, that's that. Let's go from the comedy side of it to the totally controversial side of it. For the second time in the space of a month, WWE has totally not ignored drug testing.
Has WWE not ignored it, or has Orton not ignored it?
Well, yeah. This was the thing, right? I mean, he mentioned the fact that Orton will take the 20 suplexes and it'll only take one RKO to Viperville with no enhancements needed. Which Jericho said he thinks that Orton's going to pay for that comment, and if you watch the video, Orton laughs and says, "Yeah, I think I probably am." He actually does say, "I probably will."
That was a complete shoot. I don't think he was meant to say that at all.
At what point do you think that Vince McMahon spits out his coffee?
Well, that was the thing, because like after that comment was made, they were just like aimlessly, but they didn't say anything. So I imagine maybe Jericho has like an earpiece in or something, and I can just imagine Vince going absolutely nuts.
You're totally right. It totally looked like Jericho got off the topic there. Yeah. I think he really just wanted to laugh, because again, if you watch that video, after he says that, they kind of just stand with the crowd laughing and chanting. And he's just stood there, and it seems like an awkward amount of time for him not to say anything. So yeah, totally. I mean, again, Orton was on fire for him to be to return. I think my favourite line of the whole thing though was Orton saying he wanted to make an epic return against the biggest, baddest dude there was, and not and asked how he'd feel if he came back after 9 months and faced someone of the likes of Fandango, which Jericho did and lost to. So yes, well done, Orton. It makes me think how much of this is them having writers and how much of them is just totally just off the cuff. I'd like to think it was all off the cuff.
I think with these two, you've got to think that a lot of it's got to be like it's Jericho and Orton, your two most well-established guys in the company right now. Like they've been for decades. Like if anyone gets a little bit of leeway, it's these two.
And we got some shout-outs during the segment. We got some out of nowhere shout-outs, which I appreciate. Thanks Jericho, thanks Orton. For some free publicity.
You've got the hashtag wrong. It's not outer, it's out of.
Yeah, I know. Come on.
You muppets.
Yeah. Could you have said that in any more of a British way? It's out of nowhere, you muppets.
What's the point?
Yes. Well, I totally forgot about the jibing and RKO at the end.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Just go fucking watch it, man. That's all I can tell you. Just go watch it. It ends with Orton RKOing Jericho and celebrating at the top of the ropes.
And it was a beautiful RKO too.
It was. It wasn't as good as the Seth Rollins one, but nothing ever will be again.
And surprisingly, no comment on any of the dirt sheets today about Vince McMahon, popping a blood vessel after last night. I thought it'd be
come on. He must have just been cracking up in the back. Gotta be.
Okay, let's step away from Vince a sec and just what's Brock Lesnar's reaction going to be to be sat at home watching that?
Randy Orton's dead.
Yeah.
When it comes to SummerSlam, that is Randy Orton. He's done.
Okay, I'm going to go off another tangent here, but have you guys seen the clip from one of the evenings with Paul Heyman where he talks about WrestleMania 30?
Yeah.
Could you imagine just Brock Lesnar coming out and just absolutely killing Randy Orton just because he can?
Yes, I can. because I think it's going to happen. I think
Like,
he's going to be bloodied.
Like, no matter what happens, he's just going to F5 the shit out of him for like 20 minutes.
Screw
Yeah.
I think he's going to ground and pound the poor guy.
Thanks for coming back in 9 months there, Randy. You're now sidelined for another.
Did you see what Mark Hunt's face looked like? That's going to be Randy Orton.
Jesus.
One thing though, Paul Heyman's not re-signed a contract. Paul Heyman's not re-signed a WWE contract, which is quite depressing.
No, he hasn't, and the reasons behind it seem quite strange. Like his contract he only gets paid when he's on TV. Like he gets paid per showing. He doesn't get set pay, which I mean I'm not. Could you blame the guy?
True. Apparently, from the sounds of it, he's still going to be there at SummerSlam, but it's whether or not he's going to do anything after that. Which is a shame because part of the hype of Brock Lesnar is Paul Heyman.
Well, without Paul Heyman, we have to rely on Brock doing it, and that's not. I mean, I like the guy, but Chelsea says he's got a girly voice, so.
Again, Chelsea said that, not us two. Neither Mike, Alan, or Thompson Smith said that. It was Chelsea Edgerton. Brock Lesnar, listening.
I think I could wear my way out of it if Brock Lesnar knocked on my door.
Yeah, how? Go on. Walk through that one. I mean, he's not going to hit you anyway because he's a very respectful man.
Sable probably would though.
Exactly. What?
Sable probably would.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. I don't know how you think you can worm your way out of it.
Well, like you say, he's not going to hit a girl, is he? And I'm pretty sure I can just like crawl through his legs and run away.
And there's one thing we've learned from The Undertaker is that Brock Lesnar is prone to nut shots.
Well, I think I'm safe there.
Like one tap and he's down.
Yeah, you better get training on that swift knee to the gonads.
Well, I'm probably the perfect height to punch it, so.
You are a midget, it's true.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Let's move on to the main event of the evening. We had the triple threat match for the WWE Championship. We had Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose. We opened the show with the commissioners and GMs coming out, with Daniel Bryan coming out last to a massive response. I still think that was the loudest one of the night, actually, even louder than Bayley's, which is ridiculous that somebody who is a GM gets the biggest response of all. But we went through a ride with Daniel Bryan, so that makes sense, I guess. Anyway, after that, Seth Rollins comes out first with his usual shtick, and then Roman Reigns finally makes his return to WWE live shows, and he is greeted with a cacophony of boos like you've never heard before.
You couldn't really expect anything less, surely.
Oh, absolutely not. But I mean, I was thinking about this when he was coming down today when I watched it for the second time. Like, WWE have stumbled into their new best heel character. Like, they're totally trying to make him face, totally trying to make him the new John Cena, and instead have just made the best heel that they could have hoped for. Which is so weird to me.
I think what happens tonight will be whether or not he is going to be that heel, or if they're going to continue on the shh, don't listen to the boos, he's a face, shh, that Vince McMahon loves to do.
But he's not a bad guy.
No, he's not a good guy either, though, is he?
But he's not the guy anymore.
No, he's not the guy. He's just he's not a good guy. He's not a bad guy. He's just a guy. Yeah, just a general guy. Anyway, the match is as good as a triple threat match you could have expected out of the three. It's so good to get the Shield back together. It started with Rollins asking them to do the old Shield fists thing. I don't know what the fist pose. I don't know what you want to call it. Fist bump. But
Stop saying the word fist.
All right, Al.
Really?
Really? What closed palm, closed-handed? I don't know what you want me to say. It was a fist. But Roman Reigns has having none of it, and just totally shoulder barges out Rollins out of the ring, leaving Ambrose to go all out with Reigns. Yay! We get Shield actually going out all against each other. Until we have Ambrose and Rollins teaming up, which everybody fucking loved. The world loved it. The universe loved it. The crowd loved it. It just went bonkers. Ollie loved it. You should have heard him screaming before the show. And they did the Shield powerbomb to Reigns through an announcer's table. That was so good.
They really dicked up Roman Reigns this match, didn't they?
Yeah, you said halfway through your watching, oh, he's been out too long, they're really going to give it to him. Did you really think that?
I fell in. I'm not sure if they did it on purpose, but the whole Roman sleeping thing that went around for a while, that every time he was in a match, he'd always take a 10-minute break and come back and win it. So I was kind of like, oh no, please no, please. But you can never tell with the WWE. Didn't expect what we got, not gonna lie.
And what we did get is Dean Ambrose hitting a dirty deeds. I totally fluffed on the name there. On Roman Reigns to retain the WWE Championship. The WWE World Heavyweight Championship is on SmackDown. Chelsea.
Yes.
Huh? Why? I did not expect this.
No, I really thought that this was going to go the way of Seth Rollins winning. I'm kind of glad, really, that Ambrose is going to keep it a little bit longer just to... I mean, if he'd have lost it that quickly, it definitely would have taken something away from him. But the best thing about this match was Roman Reigns obviously got his punishment of being pinned clean, and the massive beatdown that he was getting. Before when Ollie said, are they going to give it to him? There was not an instant second in my mind where I thought that was actually going to happen.
No, it was never going to happen. Never going to happen.
But no, I'm really I'm guessing that Ambrose still has the belt, obviously, because they need to keep those ratings up on SmackDown, and what better way to do that than having the belt over there?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think it was a calculated move on the numbers side of things. But is this believable? I'm not a wrestler, not a story writer, but if I was a GM or writing for a GM, why would I not just say, it doesn't matter what you do, guys, just work together, Rollins and Reigns, beat Ambrose, get the belt on Raw, and then you two can fight out for it. Why the hell is that not happening? All the way through it, it was just Foley and Stephanie totally backing up Rollins. Why was they not backing up Reigns as well, just to say, get it to our show? Both of you attack Ambrose. Why was that not happening?
I think this match was purely just punishment for Roman Reigns, I think. And they're not going to cheer for him when he's just been out on the wellness policy, are they?
No, but you can still just, I don't know, you can still tell a different story. I mean, you don't need to be cheering him. Just have him backstage and give him a, like they did with Daniel Bryan, and they gave him a backstage prep talk. Just give him backstage, pep talk to both of them. I don't understand why that wouldn't have happened. Anyway, one part of this that I did like was the shots to the backstage where we were having the Raw and SmackDown locker rooms watching backstage. I always liked that kind of thing, and I hope that continues on the joint pay-per-view shows whenever there's crossover matches. Yeah,
I still wish that they'd have done that for the actual draft.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't see why they didn't. I mean, I'm guessing with the first drafts and stuff. I don't think they they obviously didn't know where they were going, so like maybe some of the reactions that they were getting from the locker room were real. But then I think it was a lot of the picks I think knew where they were going, just how quickly they came out in their t-shirts and stuff like that. I mean, people like Charlotte and Seth. I think they had to know where they were going before they were drafted, right?
Yeah, you'd have thought so.
But then you get people like Cesaro who
Yeah.
has been very vocal, and he obviously didn't know.
I think a lot of those things from the draft episode on the network weren't scripted at all. Like they were just given time to go and give their initial like instant reactions. So whilst they may have known, they definitely weren't given sold anything to say.
And just why Cesaro's been brought up, actually, is going on the tangent. Like when he was, did either of you watch the pre-show?
No.
I saw it from the match onwards.
Okay, well, Cesaro was on the panel, before the match, yeah, and he was every time they asked him a question and stuff like that, he was very vocal, just to be like, I don't want to be on this panel. I want to have a match tonight. I want to wrestle. I don't want to be sat here with a microphone. Like I'm a wrestler, and he was very vocal, and you could just tell by like Renee's face, like she was like, oh, well, what am I meant to do here? He's definitely very, 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 very pissed off man.
Is that just his gimmick now?
Oh, he needs a gimmick change, so I hope so.
He's that I want to wrestle, but they won't let me wrestle.
Maybe. Well, that's going to be Heath Slater, right?
Who's now taking bookings for PWG in Evolve, apparently.
Oh. Poor
Well,
Heath Slater.
at the end of the show, though, where the lights went out on him, and he was just sat there.
What are you on about now?
Heath Slater didn't get drafted.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be somewhere. He's not been banished. He has to go back down to NXT. That's it.
He's the NXT's hottest new free agent.
Oh, I hope they play that storyline down there.
Well, that's the title going back to SmackDown then. And all of the current titles are now sorted out on where they're going to live. My question to you, Chelsea, Ollie, Chelsea, you can go first, is are we just going to get duplicate titles on both shows now?
I hope not.
So,
I think.
What are we going to do about a heavyweight championship on Raw?
Like I say, I think eventually we will get a split of the big belt, but I think definitely up until SummerSlam, I think it's we're gonna see a very much like, what I'd like to see is like maybe a number one contenders match on Raw, because obviously Seth Rollins is gonna put his foot down and like, I didn't lose and all this, and I don't think we're gonna get a split of the belts straight away. I think that's not gonna happen until after SummerSlam. But the tag team belts, I would not like to see another one of those. Even the women's belt, I mean, we were talking before about bringing the women's championship back, but surely if you have two of those belts, it's going to take something away from the other. Like, neither one of them is going to be, it's going to mean much, if that makes sense. And I don't think, and I don't,
the point of the draft in the first place.
But yeah, and I don't think that there is a good amount of women on either roster to warrant a belt on each show.
So what happens on Raw tonight, Ollie?
This
is the first show post-draft. We've got a lot of people we need to see.
So I think you get all so Finn Balor, he'll be there, Nia Jax, she'll be there. You'll get all of them. We'll see whatever the Cruiserweight Championship's going to be. Whether it's going to come out of the Cruiserweight Classic or whether it's going to be something entirely separate from the Classic and just be decided on Raw. Maybe the winner from the Cruiserweight Classic gets a number one contender shot to the title. New Day will be the New Day, probably face Gallows and Anderson, maybe Enzo and Cass, probably get that triple threat again. And yeah, I think maybe Darren Young moves on to Rusev, and I think Seth Rollins challenges Dean Ambrose. Because if you look at SmackDown, there's not a contender from SmackDown, really. Randy Orton's facing Lesnar. AJ Styles and John Cena are going to be a thing. So unless you throw Bray Wyatt at Dean Ambrose at SummerSlam, I think it's going to be, as Chelsea said, Rollins versus Ambrose in a rematch, and then we get the separation.
No, there was a couple of weeks ago. I remember reading that. Oh no, I've got that completely wrong. No, I was going to say that the Undertaker was due back soon, but that's not right. I thought I read somewhere that he was having a match at SummerSlam.
He's playing golf, so
Yeah.
playing golf. We've all seen the
Talking of SummerSlam, there's been something announced. They're having a SummerSlam like concert in aid of Connor's cure.
On the show or away from SummerSlam?
I have no idea. All I know is that it's headlined by Flo Rida, so get excited.
Of course it's headlined by Flo Rida. If it's not on the show like they always seem to put it, then great. If it is on the show...
Yeah, I really hope it is like a completely separate thing, maybe even after, and they broadcast it on the network, which I'm not going to watch, but if it is just like if they have this in the middle of SummerSlam, I mean, I think SummerSlam actually starts at 12 for us over here.
Does Flo Rida have pictures of Vince McMahon? That's why he's keeping his career so relevant. Is that what it is? Like,
I don't even get I mean, I know Flo Rida from like that one song, whatever it was, that I was like, I don't know, like 12 years old, and
the WWE just keep paying his bills. I don't know why.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know what I don't.
What I would love to see, however, is an NXT concert from like the brilliant music choices that Triple H has down there. I would be all over that.
It's called Download Festival.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, that wraps up the pay-per-view recap show, and I am really looking forward to watching Raw live tonight and SmackDown live on Tuesday.
You just said SmackDown live. I thought we weren't doing this.
Yes, but if you noticed, I called Raw live, which I said was okay.
I'm watching. Yeah, you said I'm looking forward to watching Raw. Yeah, it could be taken either way.
I said both, Raw live and SmackDown live. It's either both of them or none of them. I'm not having this. We need equality, guys. I'm just fighting for equality.
Can't we then just say, I want to watch SmackDown live, and then we're just getting on
that would be too much.
Just quickly before we go as well, something I wanted to ask. Are we going to get, like, we've seen the beautiful new logos for Raw and SmackDown.
Fuck me.
But are we going to get, like, new entrances, like new opening music, new title sequences?
I want new sets, I want new entrance music. Like new openings, everything.
Yeah, I said it before, and Ollie really loves it when I say it, and I just want the SmackDown fist back. Bring back the SmackDown fist.
They've still got it. I can't remember what TV program it was, but it's still in a little. It's in a big room somewhere.
Was it on like the YouTube channel? Yeah. Where it said the Vault stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I love those. I'd love to see a whole series of them. Like they showed the Undertaker's urns and his caskets.
That should be a half-hour show on the network.
Yeah, absolutely, and all the titles as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was so good. Come on, Vince, pull it out. Who do we need to contact at the network to give some ideas? Who am I kidding? They're all listening, obviously.
But no, do you think we are going to see, like, I mean, obviously, like, title sequences and stuff I think are a given, but any, like, set changes or anything like that, do you reckon we'll see?
No, because they're not into that anymore. They're just into streamlined, getting the stadium up and ready, getting the stadium down and shipped out to the next one, and just changing the LED boards. That's all they're interested in.
I hope we get the red and blue ropes. That's all. That's what I'd like.
I hope, like, with everything that Shane was saying about, SmackDown Live creating it different, making something new, something fresh, that I do think, we do get a complete kind of change up in how it looks. Like,
hopefully
how both shows look. They look different. They feel different. Like,
I hope SmackDown goes down the route of looking like NXT takeovers. because they are so immaculately done. They look so good.
Just change it up. You don't need the big boards. NXT proves that you don't need that big setup. You can do something very simple, but great.
The only thing that I wish they'd do is just black the crowd out like they do in NXT, like during the match.
Oh, when they do the spotlights of the titles.
Yeah, like I would love that, and just keep the crowd. Like you don't need to. I just think that NXT just looks so good.
Yeah, but they have a black ring with yellow ropes. Come on, that looks awesome.
Black with white on takeovers.
I know, right? Could you imagine if it was black with blue ropes for SmackDown?
Yes.
And black with red ropes for Raw? That would look awesome. Not happening, also, so don't worry about it.
Well, we never know. We'll find out in 2.5 hours.
But God, those logos are shite. Fuck
you
me.
sounded so Yorkshire then. That was the most Yorkshire I've ever heard you sound.
Yeah, I have quite a non-Yorkshire accent, but sometimes it just gets out there.
The SmackDown one doesn't look too bad. It's just the Raw one looks like, I don't know.
The Raw one is generic word typing that any kid uses for their my first assignment.
I think
when they're first learning to play with word art, that's what they come up with.
I think the SmackDown one would look infinitely better if you just got rid of live underneath.
Oh, shocker!
That live's going to be there permanently, Mike. It's going to be there to bug you.
Oh, as long as is Del Rio on it. Fuck.
Yes, he is.
Oh no. Well, that's it, guys. I am out on SmackDown. I'm going to leave it to you lot. You guys can sort it out.
I thought you were doing a one-man show. SmackDown's all you.
Oh, I could definitely do a one-man show. I'm not sure anybody would appreciate it. You know the tangents I get on. I could ask myself questions. It'd be fine. It'd just be an hour of me answering my own fuck, marry, stuns.
Lana. Or Lana Paige.
Lana Page. Who could that third one be? Lana Page and
Maurice is. I think Maurice is up
Maurice. Yeah. Well, I said Maurice or Lana to you guys once, and you was like, "Ha, what an idiot."
I firmly agree. I think Maurice is beautiful.
Yeah. All right, totally off topic. Let's wrap this up. And you can reach us at Out of Lives website to find out all of our writing. Russ is our fallen hero. He doesn't get on the show much anymore, but he's starting to do a writing piece, the Rush Report, which comes up on a Thursday. So look forward to seeing that. I believe he's already got something to rile against already. What was it? What's he wanting to rile against?
If it's not Nia Jax, I'd be very surprised.
No, it wasn't Nia Jax.
No, it was something else.
Fuck, what was it? Probably not necessary. Chelsea, you look it up while we're doing the sign-outs.
I can't scroll back through that shit.
Ollie, where can they reach us on emails and Twitter?
So it is Out of Lives Pod on Twitter. It is outoflivespodcast@gmail.com is the email. Outoflives.net is where we do all our lovely stuff, including all the other podcasts and shows, such as Tank Tough, Out of Lives Podcast. House of Thrones was a thing now that it's no longer on. I don't even know why I mentioned it. We are...
Out of Heroes is currently a massive one because of Comic-Con.
There's a massive Comic-Con this weekend, so we got all the trailers and news from Comic-Con as it went up over the weekend. And you can catch us. We have T-shirts. Mike keeps getting this, but we do have T-shirts over at TeePublic. So if you just search Out of Lives Podcast, you'll find us on there. We are looking at potentially doing some just with Audible in the future. So
sorry. I'm interrupting you, and this is really rude. But we have a new stage for Raw.
See?
They have changed the set. Do you want to see?
Oh, can we see? Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This will work perfectly on a live podcast, but you can get our reactions.
We will tweet it up on the link on our Twitter, which again was Out of Nowhere Pod.
There you go. I really like it. I mean, it's nothing drastic, but
Where did you send that?
our group chat.
Where the fuck's the ramp?
I don't know.
There's chairs where the ramp would be. What's going on?
Oh, that is interesting. Okay, we will send this up on the Twitter.
I love how it's been gone through Snapchat.
Snapchat leaking everything. Get in touch, go listen, like, subscribe, rate us. This is on YouTube as well. We do have a YouTube video channel, so outerlives.net has a YouTube channel. Subscribe, rate, like, give us some ratings. The more we get, the more stuff we can do for you, the more stuff we can bring in the future. So yeah, Mike, back to you.
Yeah, you can find Chelsea at Fight Chelsea Fight. Contact Ollie on our Out of Nowhere Twitter, and you can get me at DjangoBob96. That has been it for all of us. We will do a show on Thursday where we can review both. No, Wednesday that we can review both Raw and SmackDown if we have all watched it and stayed up. There's only one downside to all this live stuff, and that is us having to stay awake until 4 in the morning.
Well, luckily you don't have to worry about it, so these one-man shows might actually become a thing.
Yeah, they might. So join me for our one-man show on Wednesday while everyone else is sleeping. Until then.
Okay, and if you do want to get involved as well, we might actually need a hand or two with all these new shows and whatnot coming up. So if you're interested, then send an email to outofnowherepodcast@gmail.com, because we could always use a hand posting up news on the website and maybe getting on the podcast if we do decide to do 2 podcasts in the future.
Can we post actual job descriptions and stuff? And application forms. Application forms and just fuck, marry, stun are the questions just to see if they'd fit in.
To come up with one. There we go.
Because I think it'd take a very particular person to join in with our group chat.
If you want to send in your fuck, marry, stuns, please send them to chelsea.edgerton@outoflives.net. That is a legit email address. Send them all to Chelsea.
I will look for the very best.
Shit, that's also the format for everybody else's.
We promised to respond.
Oops. Right, that's it from us. We look forward to all of your ridiculous emails. Until next time, goodbye.